And we're live. We're on. Awesome. Brilliant. Flawless. Excellent. We are live at Commsverse, the first session of the event.
Yes.
Awesome. Good. And so my name is Marianne. I'm back again from last year. We have Anouk with us as well.
Back again from last year as well.
You need to talk a little closer to the microphone.
Oh, really?
Yes, and now say it in a smooth, sexy voice like, hey, I'm back again. Yes.
Oh, it's going to be one of those days.
It's warm. We're in the UK. We're on the Mercedes test track, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's still a beautiful sight to be here, because
It is.
if you just look over there, all the Formula One cars and anything, we can see what people don't see.
Talking about Formula One and things that go fast. Hello, people from Gamma.
Hi.
Good morning. How are we?
Hello. How are you doing?
Awesome. So you have decided that you want to be the first ones on the live stream.
Yeah, we really just value the idea of, technical hiccups happen. It happens in our world, it happens in your world, so we thought we'd volunteer ourselves to be a sacrificial lamb in case anything goes wrong. We'll save the better speakers for when everything's running smoothly, right?
Okay. But now we're nice and fresh and early in the day, and we're not sweating away, so that's better as well. All right, cool. So, people of Gamma, what do you do? First of all, please introduce yourself. Sorry.
Yes.
Ladies
Oh,
first.
of course. So, good morning, everyone. So, my name is Holly. I'm a Teams phone sales specialist at Gamma, and I work in our kind of wholesale division. So, we sell to partners, we sell to customers, and part of my role is essentially enabling our partner base to sell this product and, support with end customer deals, etc., etc. Off you go, Jack. Over
Thank you,
to
Holly.
you.
So my name's Jack Carr. I lead a team of solutions consultants that sit within our pre-sales team, and specifically that's within our Gamma enterprise function. So that's our direct customer relationship. So while we have a very strong and very healthy and very valued partner network, which Holly sits in, we also service end customers directly. These are normally larger enterprise, both UK-based and international organizations. So that's where I'm showing some representation today.
All right, so you're selling the stuff, and then you're making sure they can actually use it, and you train the people. And
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like almost a little bit sales enablement. So being that second arm for our partner base, really.
hardcore. So as we say in Belgium, you do the blah blah, and you do the boom boom.
I like that. I'm going to use
I
that.
talk the
It's-
talk and Holly walks the walk.
It's how we
Yeah.
work as well. I mean,
Yeah.
she's the real technical pro, and I'm just here for the giggles. So yeah, okay, cool.
The real technical pro. Good to know.
You are.
I think somebody else is at the desks.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a microphone, so he can't say anything. So let's not mind him. Okay, cool. So you talk about Teams phone. So what does Gamma do?
So historically, we've been known as a telco, and that's something that we're very proud of. But as the world of telecoms evolves, that becomes more and more focused around the applications in which end users interface, and Teams being a very big part of that and what we do. So we see ourselves as somewhat of a systems integrator, as well as having that true telco heritage. But we want to both enable our direct customers and our channel network to feel empowered and comfortable using Teams Phone with the backing of and the pedigree of a telco.
Okay. So what are your typical customers?
It really ranges, to be honest. So from a kind of partner wholesale perspective, we can have, customer size on Teams Phone being as little as 2 or 3 users, or as high as tens of thousands of users. So it does range quite significantly, but I think that is kind of the beauty of Teams, is it does kind of suit, whoever really needs it, whoever needs that integration, who needs that kind of single pane of glass experience. Lovely little buzzword in there. But yeah, exactly. It's quite a range, really, to be honest.
And it's something that we have a lot of experience doing. So on the enterprise side, we typically work with organizations that have over 250 users. That being said, that's sort of the lower end. We're losing lights. The show goes on. But we have certain customers who might well have over 100,000 individual users on Teams calling with us, and we'll scale as a platform around that, and we've demonstrated that we are the largest Operator Connect partner in the UK, and it's something that we're really proud of.
Yeah. Okay. So lots of buzzwords.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams, a lot of information, and that's completely what Commsverse is about. So what was the attracting? Why coming to Commsverse?
Yeah, of course. So I guess our kind of attraction in that Teams phone space is essentially it's our pedigree, I think, but also how we really pride ourselves in delivering a very kind of resilient infrastructure. So since launching our Operator Connect solution back in 2021, we've had 100% uptime on that service. So we pride ourselves a lot in ensuring that our infrastructure is built perfectly to enable our customers and kind of have that consistent trust. But yeah, I think that's the kind of key USP for us. We do a lot on disaster recovery as well. So Citron Call Manager is one of our kind of attachment products, and that enables us to do automatic diverts and all that lovely stuff. Thanks for the like, that felt very dramatic. But yeah, essentially we really pride ourselves in having that capability to provide a really good, resilient, consistent infrastructure, and then in more recent time we've been looking at kind of enabling our customers to enhance on the Teams phone kind of features and functionality through additional products that we can kind of give to our, on a wholesale perspective, our partners, and from an enterprise perspective, our end customers.
And around Commsverse itself, I mean, how could we not be here?
Yeah.
We've been lucky enough to be attendees in the past. This is the first year that Gamma's had our own stand, and what we found was that it's a great place to be. The venue's spectacular. It's really well ran by some really, really good people behind the event. And what we've seen in the past is, we've got representation from all kind of areas around Teams, be it reporting, call recording, contact center, all that good stuff. But we didn't see that much representation from a telco perspective, and we felt that, all of those things are really important to running a Teams platform, but the underlying telco still needs to be there, right? So we wanted to help the event, as well as obviously help ourselves a little bit, if we're brutally honest, and provide that there's representation from everything that's needed to make the solution work properly.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds perfect for being here.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So what other large conferences do you go to as well?
So I think when you come to an event like this, it's a bit like, I described it Holly earlier today, it's a bit like a circus, right? It's all the same faces in different settings, and you all get set up and you'll kind of recognize a lot of different people from different organizations, partners, even competitors. You get to know everybody, right? Other big ones, things like UC Expo, North and South. We do quite large events ourselves in-house, so both for channel partners and direct, we host those. So things like our GX event on the direct side, and my mind's running a blank on the partner side. Galaverse. How could we forget Galaverse? So as well as sort of the regular ones, right? The big tech conferences, things like Call and Contact Center, UC Expo, but we'll do a bit ourselves as well.
Yeah. All right, cool. So you both travel a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
We all travel a lot.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So, but let's go back to the conference, because otherwise we will go completely to the side of traveling. So I saw you guys are presenting something as a session as well. What can people expect from that?
We are. Thank you for noticing. Will we see you there? Is my question.
Probably not, because we will be here recording other people.
Damn.
Shame.
You will be missed.
We need the numbers. We really need the numbers as well. Ollie and I are doing a talk later on this afternoon. That is around 20 essential questions you must ask your Teams phone provider. So obviously, as a Teams phone provider ourselves, we have answers to these, but that's not what we're trying to get to. What we want to do is try and empower both our channel partners and our end customers around, if you are going to deploy something like this, be it with Gamma, be it with someone else, these are the things that you should be asking, just to make sure that all bases are covered, you're not going on a journey and forgetting something that could be quite critical. So it's about empowering our customers to make the right buying decisions when coming to us, when going to someone else. We just want to help, really.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Do you have that as a white paper as well, that people can download from the website?
We can do, yes. So we've got some collateral on our stand. We're cutting it a bit fine. We have a 25-minute slot and we have 20 questions. So
Rapid fire.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to put Holly through her paces on the stand. But should that, there still be other questions, and we'd welcome our audience to give us a few more questions, right? Because we're not going to think of everything. We're not
No,
perfect.
exactly.
So we can direct to the stand.
Give her the first three. What are the first three now, live?
Oh, that's three
no.
questions. Oh no, my mind is going. I know. Oh, it's. I know we talk a little bit about AI. So around, how that your telco provider can facilitate, additional Microsoft AI capabilities alongside Teams Phone. So I know that is the first thing we talk about, and I know it's something that is quite a hot topic at the minute, and everyone's talking about how AI can help facilitate conversations, not only from within Outlook or what have you, but kind of expanding that into Teams and Teams Phone too.
Now they're not in order.
It
but
took about 6 minutes before
Before
AI
AI
came
was
up as a
mentioned.
topic.
Yeah,
So,
Sorry, guys.
No, that's like a benchmark. So okay, cool. Yeah.
And, AI is such a big thing, right? And there are people here who are far more qualified to talk about AI than us.
1000%,
We're your friendly telco. But yes, it's unavoidable. It has to be part of everything that you do these days. It's almost a hygiene factor now that AI is somewhere embedded so that you're getting, that maximum return on investment. And, we know that when you're looking at anything Microsoft, it's all about how does it all fit together. You can't really buy anything and have it sat off by itself. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work from a commercial and a, return on investment perspective. So making sure that they all tie together and work to a common goal is really important, right?
Yeah. Right. So we had a first question. So what are two other questions?
So one would just be, you should ask your provider, well, what makes you different? Which most providers will probably really like you asking, to be honest, so you'll help them out a little bit.
That's true.
But you should ask what makes them different, because when you look into a team space, when we provide you Teams calling to your end users, you don't see any Gamma intellectual property. You're consuming a Microsoft product, so what's the difference? Why should you go with one provider over another? So these are the kind of things that give your partner the opportunity to really sell themselves and kind of uncover some things that might not necessarily be obvious.
I love that question. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think we need to use that as well for all our other people. Like, what makes you different? Okay, well, I like that.
What makes us different is maybe a better question.
You and me. Do you want me to answer that live here? Okay.
How long do we have?
So we have two questions. What's the third one that people can expect?
I'll be honest, the order has properly gone out the window now.
Yeah, 100%,
When you get 20 in a row, I'm just going off the slides. But
Yeah.
another one would be things like security and compliance in today's world. It's never been more pertinent to make sure that your partner is with you on your cybersecurity journey, whether that's their own internal security, right? Because breaches in your supply chain impact you as a customer. And also the products that you're consuming from them, right? They need to be robust, they need to adhere to your own security principles, and you need a partner that's on, the front foot when it comes to those sort of things. And it's something that we feel quite proud of. We've launched our own cyber division, so around cybersecurity, that sits on top of our voice products, our contact center products, our wide area network products. We want to be all encompassing. Some of them are Microsoft specific, some of them are not. So we're not, pigeonholing around Teams. We do other things. We're not just a Teams telco. But around our offering, we understand where we are. We know that we have a very large and growing customer base, both directly and indirectly, for Teams and Teams Phone, and making sure that that's secure and robust is something that's really important to us. And more importantly, whoever you go with, you should ask your provider of that.
Absolutely. That's super valid. Yeah.
And it kind of leads on to another question that we're going to ask ourselves, which is around, what else can your provider do? Because I think, when you're a customer where you're consuming services, it gets really difficult where you're having to jump through to different providers, and it's just so much easier to have a more kind of coherent conversation with your vendor. So I think that's another really important question that customers need to be asking, partners need to be asking, is understanding, what else can we bring in here? What else can we be talking about? Because it could be rogue things like, I don't know, connectivity, broadband, mobiles, security. The list goes on, but yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really key point.
How can we do 1 + 1 = 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
And how can you avoid 1 + 1 = 1.5, right? Because if you're buying bolt-ons from point solutions. A lot of these vendors here, they're amazing, great partners, but there is crossover in some of their offerings, and we reflect that, and we have a service suite around our core offerings. As a consultative partner, we don't want you to go ahead and enhance a core Teams solution with things like reporting and analytics and maybe call recording, and there'd be crossover, right? You're paying for the same thing twice. Getting that value out. If you go ahead and buy things yourself without a consultative partner, you can end up double paying for stuff. So ideally, we want 1 + 1 to be 3, but you at least want it to be 2, right?
Yeah, or you need to check if there's no special sauce needed to connect those 2 bits. And
Exactly.
What is actually the biggest issue that you guys can solve for one of your clients?
Ooh.
What's a good question? We should have had that on the list, Jack.
Is it too late to change the slide?
21 questions. You should ask your.
So why do companies come to you guys and not to another supplier?
I think we see ourselves as a bit of a challenger in the market. I think everybody likes to see themselves as not your typical telco, but we do see that. On the enterprise side, we see ourselves as being able to knit together many solutions. Being in the position to provide things like Teams Phone, there's always other elements that are considered, right? So any VoIP solution needs clear and consistent internet access. Now, if that's sat with a third-party provider, you've got another support path there, you've got another person to chase. If that goes with a single provider, you've got, from a customer perspective, one route of support, and from our side, your supplier will thank you for this because we can check more stuff to try and figure out where the issue is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got another layer of analytics that you can do, and the customer, it's easier. It's just one bill less to pay and one contact, as you said. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the worst thing there was, right? Everything's backed by an SLA, but what does an SLA actually mean, and when does that really kick in? That's the thing. So the more partners in the way, everybody's got their own SLA, but that'll only start when you get to their point of contact, right? So if you start looking in the wrong place to resolve your issue, that's fine, but the actual issue SLA hasn't really started ticking yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we aim to just be easy to work with and to be a friendly face and to not feel like you're fighting against us, but, having that kind of partnership. I mean, we've got a very great marketing campaign all about good together. So we want to just, present that message and be like, we're here to help you to, really deliver those services. So.
Is that the marketing tagline, like great together?
Yes, good together. We've got a big fluffy purple dog as well. So if you keep seeing purple fluff everywhere.
I read something about we need to look out for a big purple dog.
Why don't we have him on the table then?
I know. Well, we're working on it. We want to get like little kind of fluffy teddy dogs, but we'll let you know when we get something across.
Someone's walking the dog right now, so that's
the dog's busy at the moment. The dog's busy.
Yeah. Nature calls. Okay, cool.
Can happen.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, one question that I know is super important for everyone here involved and all the attendees here. What kind of swag are you carrying with you?
Oh, well, let me tell you, we have, should I do proper?
Oh, no. You're breaking the studio. Okay.
We've got very soft socks, and I can attest, I do wear these probably too often, but they're very soft. You can find them on our stand. We've got water bottles.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the reason why Holly knocked over the set is because we brought along this wonderful Gamma branded, I don't know where the camera is, there's the camera, water bottle, and it's so heavy and so well made that it actually fell over at her touch. So that's one to look out for.
And it's still in one piece.
And it's still in one piece. There's no scratch on it. It's incredible.
Amazing. Yes. But I like that. It's a really good design. So it's a large one, so it's beautiful.
You can fit coffee in as well. Honestly, I could go on for days about the durability.
Yeah. Durability, resilience is in everything that we do, down to the water bottles.
Exactly. And socks and water bottles, they go great. Good together.
They do go good together.
Yes.
Good together, absolutely.
All right,
you.
cool.
Perfect.
How are we on time?
One more question. Oh, now, yes, they are now looking at me to make that decision.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, I'm already used to that.
So what is it you haven't told us yet about Gamma? What is that value that people get? So you've told us the question to ask, so I'm asking you. What do Gamma provide on top of just being a telco?
Ooh. Oh, I remember, Jack, we need to plug our new thing. So we
That
also...
is a really cool name. The thing. Gamma thing.
Gamma thing.
The Gamma thing, international. So we're trying to expand quite significantly in that international space from an enterprise perspective. Also wholesale, but I'll let Jack talk around international. Sorry, I'm stealing your thunder there.
No, that's all good.
yeah.
So, one of the things that we really want to shout about is in a growing and more diverse world, on the enterprise side especially, more and more of our customers have an international footprint, and that can be a little bit complicated for both provider and consumer. And, for very good reasons, there might be point solutions in those different locations. People have different ways of working, and we're not going to dictate to our customers what's right for them. But what we can do is we have an international platform called Gamma UCX. Gamma UCX, we can offer voice calling in over 20 countries today, and we're looking to potentially have more to that. And I guess the cool thing is that we're not going to be dictated by what end platform that you use. So be that Microsoft Teams, clearly a big one for this event. But whether it's another hosted platform, a hosted phone system, whether it's retaining something that you have on premise today, whether it's a third-party contact center, we can direct calls into all of those from a central call routing platform. The reason why that's a good thing is it gives you one point to view call performance across your entire estate. We're not going to dictate that this is the right end application for your users in this location, but it doesn't need to sit totally separate to the rest of your estate. We can do some knitting together of those solutions and provide you things like detailed call ladders and some business continuity around that, while keeping it all in one nice homogeneous state.
So your customers get a kind of dashboard where they can see all that.
Yeah, so we've launched a thing that we're calling the Gamma UCX Customer Portal, which is a brilliant name, and does exactly what it says on the tin. So things like call ladders, CDRs, enabling to actually move numbers from one of those platforms to another in literally the click of a mouse. We're able to offer, should one of those point solutions in country A be down, we can redirect inbound calls to go to another resilient platform. It's totally separate. The only connection point is what we provide. That offering we find it quite unique in this space. We haven't seen anything quite like it so far.
Yeah.
My telco doesn't provide me that, for sure.
We should have a conversation after this.
Amazing.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much.
for having us.
And we'll see you around.
Yeah.
We'll be
please.
looking for that big blue dog. Purple
Dog.
dog. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a bit colorblind. So.
That's quite right.
Cool. All
So
right.
is purple going to be the color of this conference like pink was last year?
I hope so.
There's lots of purple, there's lots of purple stands. When I arrived this morning, I think I went to 4 of the wrong stands because I couldn't remember where ours were.
Usually we're the only purple people, so it's nice seeing more purple.
We've caught on with trend setting,
But you've gone all black. I love the shoes, by the way.
I know. I'm like a Gamma ninja. Can't see me coming.
Okay. Cool.
right.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful rest of Commsverse.
And good
Thank you for
luck with
having
your
us.
session.
Yeah, so please come by to our stand and our session at 2 p.m. as well at the Landis stage, all about 20 essential questions for
21.
21.
21.
Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Awesome. Thank you.
so
Thank you,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
So we have kicked off Commsverse TV now completely with our first guest, Gamma. So if you don't know what to do, you are in the area and you want to visit their stand, go do it, because we are getting ready to have our other guests here. So our next guest is Mefte from Heedify. So welcome.
Thank you.
Do we say that right? Heedify or
Heedify.
Heedify?
Heedify.
Heedify. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So what we need you to do is talk very closely to the microphone.
Like this.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you.
All right, so welcome.
Cool.
Number 2 on Commsverse this year.
Thank you.
You didn't
Thank
quite
you for
get
having me.
first slot.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
It can't
Thank you
be
for the
helped.
invitation. That's great.
So tell us about Heedify. Heedify.
Yeah, sure. So Heedify is a company that was built when Teams arrived to the market. The main purpose is to bring the CX, the customer experience layer, to Teams, right? Teams is doing part of the customer experience with the call queue, with the auto attendant, but for company that move to Microsoft Teams, there is still a lot of things to do, right? So our mission is to be the solution that complete all of that layer, right? So we started and we're still doing an attendant console built and truly integrated to Microsoft Teams. We do have a contact center solution, certified of course, but we are bringing some other tools and some other small solution that complete certain scenario when you are using Teams as a telephony platform. But the main purpose is this. We are purely a solution for Microsoft Teams that brings CX.
Okay, so it's embedded in Teams. So if I go in my Teams apps, I can just install that and buy a license.
Yeah, of course. So it's in the marketplace. It's truly embedded in Teams ecosystem. So it's available in the marketplace. It's available through partner, of course. Mm-hmm. The application is in the Teams client app store. It's from an ecosystem perspective. It is, but the most important thing is it is from an experience perspective. It is really think for Microsoft Teams.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So it's mainly used for contact centers and receptionists and
contact center receptionists. Actually, customer experience is a very wide, field. So the most important one that depends on business, but one of the most important is reception. Mm-hmm. As if, because it is the very first point of contact of customer. So we do solve this, and I think we do this well because we have very good feedback from partner and customer. And then you have the regular contact center, meaning queuing, routing, and everything. And then from time to time you have some other custom scenario where customer just want one piece recording, for example, or they just want CRM integration, but Teams call queue is fine for them. So we do all of those, right? And all with using the same cloud services. So we don't have a lot of solutions. So we have one solution that can be adapted to each one of those
scenarios to use as you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's very cool. Okay.
So I need to ask this question. What are you guys then doing with the AI at the moment?
It's the discussion, of course. So from an AI perspective, let me just do an introduction how we do things, and then we'll come back to AI, right? So as I mentioned, we built CX for Microsoft Teams. So the most important thing we do is always to think it to be for Microsoft Teams. So if you look on the market, there is hundreds of solutions around contact center, hundreds of solutions about AI. What is specific for this particular event and the ecosystem we're living in is that this is around Microsoft Teams ecosystem. So first reflex we do for every single feature is how we do this for Microsoft Teams, right? And so that's globally how we do and how we design actually feature. From an AI perspective, what we do is we started with some easy integration, obvious integration, and the most important thing is that AI that can bring immediate value for the customer. So we do it, for example, for feedback, right? In our contact center, we had actually a survey feature, right? So you can configure, if you're happy with the service, you can rate it from 1 to 10.
For the people that are calling in or for the people that are working with the solution?
No, it's more for the customer. So for the business to get feedback from their customer, right? So the initial feature, even before we had integrated AI to it, was you can configure a survey with the old-fashioned, right? So just write the service from 1 to 10 or something like this. That brings already feedback and information for the business, but that's not enough. So the immediate application and the obvious one is, and that's very important for contact center, to have the feedback, is actually to bring, AI will bring much more information. So instead of asking a question for customer, please select from 1 to 10, we're asking an open question. So what do you think about the service or this particular discussion with this particular agent? And the answer generally will bring information that you cannot expect upfront, right? So it will be the wait time was good, the agent was very kind, but the integration with the system was not very clear. Those kind of information are very valuable for business because actually if you ask specific question from the wait time or if the agent is kind or not, you cannot expect.
It's very subjective.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you open it, you ask an open question, customer will express themselves, they will bring you insights that you've never thought about, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the first application. So you can select just an open question, right? Mm-hmm. Customer will answer regular things, right? So we do transcription, we do extract keywords, and then we do extract, the sentiment compared to attach it to every keyword, and then the output is something very simple, but we believe that it's very valuable for business. So it's just a kind of cloud of words, right? With every word, either it is depends on how often actually it come back from customer feedback, and then it will give you actually a sentiment score actually if it is a good or a negative thing, right? So if you have a lot of customers saying everything is cool except the agent spend a lot of time actually looking for my reference in the system, as a business you have this very good insight that you probably need to enhance this particular point from your overall actually business process, right? Yeah. So that's one of the integration we do with AI.
So right? is that just for the survey that you're using the AI, or is that also like
for the moment actually it's more for the survey, mm-hmm. right? So AI is a continuous process.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So
and it can do so much.
Exactly,
so, yeah.
Right. So as mentioned, so we need to really think about those features very carefully, right? And we want them to be truly embedded, right, within the experience. So we started with this one. Of course, in the IVR, we can do some obvious things with AI, but we're not, we're still a lot of things in progress actually with AI, with our contact center, right? But yeah, that was just to give an example actually of what we were doing right now.
So AI changed a lot of things and you're trying to involve it so that it's getting easier for people to find all of the information needed.
Yeah, exactly. So the other field where we are working right now is actually to bring much more information to the agent, to support them to solve the customer problem quicker. So that would be something around, just giving them the right information from the CRM. So we have a already feature, to bring information statically, I would say, right from the CRM. So when you have a customer calling, we can display information from your CRM, and we're working on making this summarized and bring in a very simple way to the agent. Right?
So we talk about empowering people with your products and things. So one of the items that was on the list of things was the tools and reduced training time and productivity for people in that area. So how does the products do that?
Well, there is a lot of aspect, or it depends on business, what do you need actually to empower people. So we just spoke about AI for the agent, so empowering them. It can start with a very classic way of bringing information of the customer, so just display the information from CRM, give them those information instantly. And again, in this area also, actually, we worked on an integration in Teams, so that when you answer the call in Teams window, you have a side panel, so you don't even need any click. Actually, you have immediately actually this, and we'll be showcasing this later in our booth. Actually, this is a way to bring those information immediately within Teams experience, and that's important. But that's one way of empowering the agent. But there is also the classical feature of the contact center, the listening, the barging, the recording with transcription, and all of those are insights either for the trainer or the supervisor, or also for the agent, to request a supervisor, for example, to jump in a call and help him, right? So those are the aspects we work on to empower the agent and make their life easier. That's from a contact center perspective. From a receptionist perspective, what makes it really easy is and handy for agent is we designed a receptionist where you can do everything with one click, right? So we removed everything behind, the three dots, and then you look for something, or you have 3 to 4 clicks to transfer a call or to look for someone. Everything is handy, and an interface actually really designed it to be one click away from any action. And that changed a lot actually for receptionists, for example. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds useful, actually.
And the statistics side of things, there's analytics.
Yeah, of
I
course.
guess they're bringing a tremendous amount of input, especially from the forms that you talked about earlier.
Yeah, of course. So actually, as you mentioned, so all of our services are based on the same platform, right? So whenever you create a service or a queue or flow, call it whatever you want. So we call it a call flow actually on our terms from an administrative perspective. Whenever you create a call flow, you have a report attached to it automatically, right? So we're using Power BI. You don't need to know it is Power BI because everything is automatically integrated. Yeah, exactly. And you have automatically actually when your data, and then you have your analytics available. What we do care about is that to make those data insightful, right? So when we do, for example, AI for a survey, we do include the statistics on from the AI feature, right, based feature in the analytics, so that you see what AI really brings to you end to end, right? So
Is that a number, like AI did 30% of the work, or is it more of these are the actions that AI did or the statements that AI made?
So, well, the previous example is probably about sentiment analytics, right? So if we do that from a survey perspective, so we'll bring this in the survey. So in the report, sorry. So meaning when you look to your report, you will have the cloud of words I mentioned earlier, but you will see also for every single call if the customer answered that survey, and then you will have a list of terms with each of them actually the score of the sentiment, right?
Yeah.
So we bring that end to end. For you to analyze, right? So even you can go really deeper and see, give me the calls where the agent actually or the score for this particular term was negative, right? And then you look for that. You can dig actually more and see what happens if you have recording enabled. So you have really a complete view of that, right? So it was more than what you expected probably about analytics,
sure.
but yeah.
Oh, but it's cool because then you can do topic-based analytics, actually.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, never thought about it that way, but yes, indeed. Yeah. So you have it. Actually, you have the topics, and then you have you can look of all the call actually what happened from the beginning.
Analytics is good this year because it was introduced to analytics last year. It was what's analytics?
Shamefully.
What's yes.
Yeah, that's the most important thing from a customer experience solution, right? So is the reports. Of course, the experience is important because that impacts immediately the sentiment from the customer and then the productivity of the agent. But yeah, analytics is definitely what business is looking for, right? So to drive the decision.
So do people ask for custom reporting and specifics? Because when I think about this kind of stuff, you could end up with multiple call queues, with multiple call queue managers. You might even have call queues in different parts of the world now because within Teams it's incredibly easy to do. So I assume you could do itemized reporting and specific custom reporting for different kind of queues and therefore get different sentiments, for example, from different parts of the world. And are those sentiments, I'm asking lots of questions now, so I'm doing what you did, are those sentiments adjusted for the country that they're in? Because I mean, some countries just talk to the point, I want that fixed, and other people talk around it, but they're both happy.
Yeah, definitely. So this is definitely something we see in customers. So we do have enterprise customer that have quite different needs depending in geography, but it can be depending on their activity. You would have a help desk, for example, running Heedify, where we bring call routing and chat routing, right? Because they want probably their internal user, to reach the support using Teams chat, and that's one of the fields also we were trying to be really embedded in Teams, and you will find actually another activity or another business or another subsidiary from that same actually customer that want to process actually their KPIs in a different way or so on. So our solution for this is, I mentioned our analytics is based on Power BI. So behind the scene, it's a simple Power BI template, right? So it's incredibly easy actually to change it and customize it for people. To be fair, most of customer, they are just happy with the standard reporting we're having because we are enhancing it in a regular base. But yeah, it comes from time to time. We have actually customer asking to change, and the way we do it is just they can redefine the Power BI template and upload it, and they have the custom reporting.
All right. So, do you do the sales yourself as an organization, or do you have more of a partner network?
Yeah, it's most focused on partner, right? So we do both basically, right? But our focus is more on the product and how we empower our partner to sell and integrate the solution. So mainly to sell actually, because integration is frankly very very easy. It's more about knowing the customer, understanding their need and so on. But yeah, so we are doing most of our business through partner, but we do have some direct customer, mainly enterprise when they prefer to select the solution themselves. So focus on partner distribution. Yep.
So just to finish off here, the thing I find about call centers is it can get very complex very quickly. Some people can use standard team functionality, some people need different kinds of stuff, the analytics are different, that kind of stuff. So you talk about building scalable solutions. So how do you work out what the customer needs are, and then how do you actually deliver it?
Yeah, so we have one platform that can be configured in very different way, right? So the first question we ask to customer is not what feature you need, but what's their business, right? So what their business need. There is something very obvious. If they have a receptionist, they need a software easy to use to transfer calls and everything, and that's fine, right? Then when it comes to contact center, right, so managing inbound calls or outbound calls, so we ask customer what are their needs. If it's just about queuing, standard queuing, call routing and analytics, so that's one thing. If they want just recording, that's available, so we answer with that particular point. So the idea is just not to check what feature they need, but what are their business need, and then we match that with the package of feature, right, with them. And then it's the same platform, so if you come actually and then install a help desk, right, with your teams, because you just need a specific routing feature, and then you have the statistics, and then you figure out how that you would like actually to offer help desk, make it reachable through chat, just enable the chat license, and that's it. So yeah, so we check with the customer what their business need, and then we route them to the right license level, I would say, not the solution level, because it's the same solution, and then it's quite flexible actually. They can switch from one to the other. Yeah.
Nice. All right, cool. So which stand are you on here?
We're on S9. So we have we come here to this event, the community event, with one free feature that we're offering to everyone, which is about actually integrating CRM into the Teams window. That brings some value, and that's for free, right? So there is a level that will require a license, but it's mostly free. So yeah, come and see how it works, and we'll be happy to demonstrate all other.
Excellent.
That was swaggy.
So that's the best swag actually, like some actual business value.
Oh really? Yeah, we do have some other swag and object, I would say, but yeah, that's definitely something that we want to bring to the community. That's the first level of the feature, and I believe that can bring some value for some of the business.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining Commsverse TV. For 2025 anyway, and best of luck with the rest of the event.
Thank you for having me.
And you know where we are if you suddenly get some groundbreaking news.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, cool. Have you noticed that there's a lot more service-based stuff coming out in Commsverse over this period of time? It used to be, hey, boxes and cameras, and there's plenty of equipment-based stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But there's more and more service-focused stuff. We saw it last year, and it was kind of new to us that people were focusing on analytics.
Well, actually, last year I was amazed by how much analytics is actually a thing, apparently. So yeah, I'm just still amazed.
But in SharePoint, we get asked for lots of stats all the time.
Yes, and there it's not a default to get all of them. So
No, but that's a lot of what the syskitty kind of tools do. So I guess from a systems perspective, we see it a lot. From a voice perspective,
Yeah, but I also kind of get it, because if you want a contact center solution and you want to integrate that with Teams,
yeah.
then yeah, you need something.
Well, I think that call analytics have been around for years. It's not new. I mean, it's just new in Teams.
Yeah.
Because in the old days, when you had voice switching to do the kind of stuff we did, PABX in the basement and a tape recorder recording the calls, you had to have those analytics, and they were mainly about controlling costs at that point, making sure we have enough incoming lines and outgoing lines, and people can do what they need to do. So we still need those analytics. This time around, how many calls are people answering? You know, how hard are they working? Is it a good statistic to say, hey, we need all our calls answered in between 3 and 5 minutes? And now with AI, we need that customer to be happy after leaving the 3 or 4 minutes.
Yes.
When was the last time somebody called a call center?
Oh, years and years and years ago.
Really?
But they call me all the time.
No, well, that's true. But surely, I mean, I phoned about a parcel that hadn't been delivered.
Okay.
Have you done that?
No.
You would have. Okay.
I just wait.
Oh, Mr. Patient.
And maybe I send an email because I don't like to call people.
No, that is true. Could I ask a favour and go and try and find where Aver is? We haven't seen them at all yet.
I spoke to that lady, so she should be here.
Okay.
You want me
then
to
I forgot.
run?
Yeah, it was a lady, so you're going to go run?
Yes.
At that side of the bridge, they are.
On the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But that bridge, not that one.
All right, cool. So, how do you think it's going?
Good.
It's getting busy out there, isn't it?
It's
Let's
getting
show
busy out
everybody
there,
what it
and
looks
it's
like.
getting hot in here.
There we go. Export shot, everybody. This is actually what the show is doing. We're on camera. Let's try that one there. There we go. We have a busy expo. We're at one end of the expo floor at the moment. So this is the new extension to Commsverse. Commsverse just used to be the other side of those white pillars that you can see there. But now we've had them remove a few racing cars so that we can create some
Show
more
them
space.
what we still have as racing cars, because
I
we
will
still have
do
some
that.
of them.
There we go. So round behind us, as you can see, we actually still have. Actually, this is the simulator. So if I can go down here a little bit, and there we still have Mr. Hamilton's actual car. For some reason, it's limited. But yeah, so this is all of the simulator work. We haven't done it yet. Whether we're going to simulate a Formula One race, I do not know.
Not
but
sure we will have time for it, but
we'll
it's
see
just
where we're at.
nice looking. Good to know that it's here.
Yeah.
So, our first day of Commsverse VV 2020-25.
Yes.
It was a little bit stressful this morning.
Sorry?
You were a little bit stressful this
I was.
morning, but now it's all going good.
Yes, it is going very, very well indeed.
She is the next one.
Oh, the next
so
one.
you're too
No,
early.
too early, that's fine. No, it's okay. We're good. We're just missing our guest for today, but that'll be our next one. You can jump in for me, yeah, why nobody else is there. That's fine. All right, good. So, yes, we've got Amy. Hello, Amy. She's on her way just getting settled in, so that's good. Are you going to just... Yeah, we're all good. Perfect.
There we go. We got Amy.
Amy Thornhill, we've been waiting for you. People have been phoning in saying, where's Amy?
Oh, do you know, the problem here is I just get waffling away and I lose track of time, so I am sorry.
It's
sorry
that
for the
northern
delay.
trait, isn't it? We just
oh.
like to lean over the fence and have a chat with a neighbour.
Absolutely that, absolutely.
Well, that's okay. If I could just ask you to speak a bit closer to the mic, that
Yeah,
would
of course,
be great.
sorry.
No, don't apologise. There's no need. So tell us, what have you been talking about so far this morning?
Well, so we've well, we've got a lot of exciting things going on at Aver at the minute, so lots of changes happening from our side. So we've just recently launched a new partner program, so lots of exciting things happening there. And on top of that, lots of new products as well. So so some of the new products that we're talking about today, lots of new cameras. We, if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do you do? What does Aver do?
Oh, of course, yeah. So primarily we focus, we are an endpoint provider. So we dabble in camera technologies, so as well as cameras, also camera solutions. We focus pretty much on 4 different pillars, so 4 different areas of focus. We have somewhat of a company tagline, which is we stream, we connect, we teach, and we care.
Well, I'll go with that's a great tagline. We stream, we connect, we teach, and we care.
Yeah. Now that actually reflects the 4 different pillars that we focus on. So we stream is our camera technology that goes into more auditoriums to support universities, obviously supporting the broadcast arena as well. So that's the stream side of things.
So we actually need to have a talk about our setup afterwards.
Absolutely. And then, so we teach is we do technologies that are focused around primary education. So we have visualizers, and obviously with AI, the enhancements in AI at the minute, that's an exciting space for us as well. The use of Google Lens and so on. So that's really exciting. And then we have a pillar where we, the next pillar is we care. So we have a medical range of cameras.
I've seen some of those. Let's change the subject.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the biggest pillar for us is that we're demonstrating today is, of course, the video conferencing pillar as well. So, obviously, we work really, really closely with teams, of course, and everything right the way from video bars. It's true to say that what we do particularly well is the pan tilt zoom technology, and that's also integrated into our video bars as well. So quite a healthy, robust range of products we have really across the board. So
we
lots
do that
to
too.
talk about.
Hey,
there we go.
Okay. So you mainly do hardware, like the boxes and the cameras and.
Absolutely, yeah. Hardware and endpoint. So aside from obviously the cameras, we also do additional technology. So I've said this to several people today. Nobody ever got excited about the word range extender, but ultimately.
I think I have that on my Tinder profile.
I was going to say you have it somewhere.
Brilliant. But we have.
They care.
We care. Exactly, we do. We care. All of these products, Matrix, tracking box, things like that. We have lots of things in our portfolio, which means that you can pretty much do, in terms of on the hardware piece, you can pretty much do an end-to-end solution that is Aver nowadays. So that's an area of focus, particularly for us. In the past, we've probably focused just on the camera itself and the camera technologies. In the last year, we've been doing a lot of enhancements in the additional bits and pieces that can create that full solution, and also as well partner us with a lot of the other people that are exhibiting here today. So this sounds like a company tagline when I say it, but one of the things that I would say that Aver do particularly well is we play nicely with others. So there's a lot of other manufacturers here today that we have alliance partnerships with. We have over 200 alliance partnerships in the market. Just to make sure, we've all got those customers who are not looking to completely rip and replace everything in the solution. They haven't got the money to spend on that. Aver plays nicely with others, so therefore if you're looking to just integrate 1 or 2 pieces into your setup, definitely Aver is
plug and play.
Plug and play.
That's the other thing I've got in my Tinder bio.
Yeah, too quick on that one. So what does it say on your Tinder account?
I don't have one.
Oh, and your Tinder account?
Mine says married, unfortunately. I'm pretty certain my husband would be furious if he found my Tinder account.
That's okay. This is an AI representative just for your husband if he calls in. So, yeah. And they do make mistakes.
Oh, no, don't worry about that.
That's cool. So, how big is Aver?
So we've been in the market for about 30 years, something like that.
You
So
didn't start off selling AI 30 years ago.
absolutely not. You know, I mean, I like to say this, but we're not playing at this. Like, we've dabbled in every kind of, different camera hardwares. I think back in the day, we even supported CCTV. That was kind of the thing, I think, the original, channel many, many moons ago. But yeah, so that's how, the evolution of that over the years. And, when we talk about the portfolio and seeing what the cameras entail now and what they hold and the different types of functionality and the AI features that you're mentioning just there, you can see where we've come, and because we've dabbled in, like I said, every kind of camera technology along the way, the products have only got better and better and better. Gone are the days that we support CCTV. We don't play in that arena anymore, but there is still cameras and still features in the portfolio that still very much reflect that market.
Nice.
So yeah, it's clear to see in the vast portfolio that we have how we've evolved over the last 30 plus years.
Well, we had some great suggestions of subjects you wanted to talk about. So your marketing person said, ask Amy these 10 questions because she's an expert.
Oh wow.
No, okay.
No pressure.
No.
So what's the bit rate on the... No.
Bit rate, I like that. But there were some great points here. So one was, I don't know which one to choose because there's three of them. Let's go with this one. So I think it's typified. People will be listening to what they heard you say, Amy. You said, oh, they do this and they do that, and when are they going to stop mentioning products that they do? One of the questions that, does more products drive a need for specialism and uniqueness? And if so, what is Aver's unique and specialism? Because it sounds a bit like we play with everybody and do everything, and so do you have a specialism?
We do. So there's two parts to this question. I would say is, I think what sets us aside, I think that sets us aside with Aver is I had this conversation only earlier today, because we've been in that market for a long time, and a lot of the, I would say, more techie guys in this industry, they are familiar with Aver, they keep on top of, the evolutions and so on. And we are, this is quite a bold statement, but I would say that we are the techie's choice. Now, the reason for that is that a lot of our software is really intuitive, really simple to use, but we also as well offer the flexibility in our softwares to be able to configure cameras to do exactly what you want them to do. Now, that's what I would say kind of makes us different than other manufacturers. I'm not saying all, but some other manufacturers that, your camera is what it does and it says what it does what it says on the tin, and that's the end of it. So I think what we do is, when I say this is a two-part, I think we happily combine the ability to be able to configure the cameras to do exactly what you need, but also the user ability is... You don't have to be a rocket science to be able to work and control our cameras and understand how to configure them. However, the ability to be able to configure it to do what you need them to do is there if it's required. So I think we sit as quite a happy medium. Like I said, we're the techie's choice, but our operability is intuitive enough for you to be able to figure it out if you're not looking for over and above.
So if you're not a rocket scientist, you can use the product, but if you are a rocket scientist by any chance,
you can break them and give me a call. I'll try and fix it for you. I often say that sometimes the fact that you can configure the devices to do exactly what you need is sometimes to our detriment, because ultimately, I'm not a self-confessed in-depth techie, and sometimes there is so much that you can do with the cameras, and I'm getting calls from some very senior techs that are out to try and break the camera, test the cameras to breaking point. Amy, I've done this, and this, and how do I get back to the beginning.
What are the craziest things that people have done with your cameras? And except with the medical
let's get away from
sphere, I know where those cameras go, but what are
Craziest.
the crazy things that people are trying to do?
I think,
Is it
I mean,
like flying on the space shuttle or whatever, send them up in space?
well, I mean, we have cameras. I mean, so whether you recognise the Aver brand or you don't, you may recognise our cameras anyway. So we are a proud Taiwanese company, and we actually manufacture cameras for other market leaders out there as well. So even if the Aver brand is something that you don't recognise, you may recognise our camera. So to say that our cameras are in crazy places up and down, not only the country but across the world, is an understatement. You know, I can't right now think of anywhere that is particularly crazy. I mean, one of the things that I can, credit in the UK is pretty much every university in the UK will have Aver cameras on campus somewhere. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pinpoint somewhere specific, that's a little bit crazy, but yeah, because we have such a vast portfolio. But
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
So you may well be using Aver cameras right now that are designed by us, but with a different badge on them.
So you guys are not a big fan of bring your own devices?
Yeah, so, well, we do, I mean, majority of our products actually are BYOD. We do have, we have, like I said, I mean, for want of repeating myself, really, we have such a broad portfolio. But yeah, we have products that primarily are BYOD, yeah. As well as, of course, stuff that would sit within that university space and, more of the networked kind of cameras as well, yeah.
So if anybody wants to see cameras, they need to come to which stand number?
Oh, you're testing me now.
Well,
B.
we could have asked you for the bitrate
Well-
on T772 space camera, but we went with the standard.
I'm going to pass
instead.
on that one, but I'm
Right.
going to go with B1. Come and see us at B1, or when you're just about to cross over the bridge, I'm just on the left-hand side. I've got coffees, I've got water, and more importantly, I've got sugar to give away.
See, that was going to be my last question. That was the swag, and actually that was one of the reasons why I want to come and get you. So that they've got this amazing cold coffee.
Yeah, come and
which
see me
is
for an
really
iced
good.
coffee.
Yeah.
So Maureen was so nice to bring it for us as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I'll bring you one over, don't worry.
All right, good. Well,
They got
thanks,
lost
Amy.
somewhere over the way. So
It was a pleasure, and
Absolutely.
I know
Thank
you
you for
balanced us
having
on a
me.
busy day, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me, and
Thanks.
pop and see me.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Alrighty. Oh yes, I'm now looking at the exhibition. So let's just go back to our
Right, do you want a
table
coffee?
view.
Bring one.
So we're cool.
I need to go there.
Oh, okay. Do you want one?
Oh, we'll always have one. Thank you very much. Yes.
Coffee, yeah?
Yes, please. All right. Good. All right. That's it. The first hour is slightly over and done with, and we're running a little late, but I don't care. We've got another one starting in 30 minutes. Hey, Lee. How you doing? Good. All right. Not a bad start. I'm less nervous now.
Yes, you
Well,
can see it.
First one, as soon as it's uploaded and people are watching it, I'll be a happy bunny.
good.
All
Awesome.
right? Good. Shall we say goodbye?
Yes.
We're up there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.